On 5th June 2017, when ISRO successfully launched GSLV Mark III from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, India opened a new chapter in the field of scientific research. The GSLV's first journey, which used an indigenous cryogenic engine, demonstrated to the world of India's deep space capabilities. ISRO had accomplished this through sheer grit and hard work, thereby overcoming many obstacles created by Western countries, who even considered mocking India's rise in this field. The journey that was started by launching small rockets from a church in Kerala today shines alongside the best space agencies in the world. This is a video series on the remarkable history of ISRO. To watch similar interesting videos, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon for notifications. The birth of Indian space program. After independence, the West viewed India and Pakistan as equals, two major markets for their weapons and technology. However, they were never willing to offer India or Pakistan with latest technology. Rocket propulsion technology was the most important technology among them. But our governments and scientists were well aware of the need for self-sufficiency in space technology. It was Vikram Sarabhai who pioneered Indian space exploration in the early 1960s. Sarabhai was a participant in NASA's early study of satellite-based live television broadcasting. In those days, even in the United States, the use of satellites was in its initial phase. The world watched in amazement when US utilized the SYNCOM-3 satellite to broadcast the 1964 Tokyo Olympics live. Vikram Sarabhai realized that artificial satellites had the potential to transform communication and that India needed to develop its own space technology. Recognizing the potential benefits of artificial satellites for India, Sarabhai planned to build his own launch vehicle and to integrate related technologies. Indian National Committee for Space Research. Vikram Sarabhai was a member of one of India's most significant business families in post-independence India. Therefore, he had a very close relationship with India's ruling elite. This allowed Dr. Sarabhai to explain to Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru the potential benefits of space exploration for the country. This led to the establishment of Indian National Committee for Space Research in 1962, under the Department of Atomic Energy. Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station. The first step was to find an appropriate research location. As the development of rocket technology was the foundation of the space mission, Sarabhai and his team started out looking for a suitable location. They ended up in Thumba, a small village in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. Vikram Sarabhai was lured to the little hamlet due to its geographical attributes. Thumba is one of the best spots in the world for geographical studies as it's near to the Earth's magnetic equator. However, in Thumba's chosen spot, there was a village full of fishermen and a church. After a discussion with Madhavan Nair, the then collector of Thiruvananthapuram, the church authorities and its followers gave up the church and the land for research. Moreover, the fishermen were willing to relocate their houses for miles, since they recognized that the upliftment of the country was as vital to them as their faith. These believers and fishermen are the epitome of the unbridled patriotism. The establishment of Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station in 1963 marked a significant advance in Indian meteorological research. Sounding rockets were first used for atmospheric research. These were Rohini series rockets having two phases of solid propellant. Photographs from this era of scientists including Abdul Kalam assembling a rocket at a church in Thumba and carrying rocket pieces on a bicycle for launch are well known. It was Vikram Sarabhai's vision that got ISRO to what it is today. During its tenure as part of the Department of Atomic Energy, ISRO attempted to recruit proficient trainees from there. However, most people from a big venture like DAE at that time were hesitant to enter this field, where there was little chance of success. Then, Vikram Sarabhai chose exceptional people locally from South India, particularly Kerala. An attempt was made to form teams into several specializations including satellite construction, rocket propulsion, telemetry and tracking. Dr. Madhavan Nair, who later became the chairman of ISRO, was one of the early chosen scientists. Sounding rockets. Gradually, ISRO developed the capability to launch sounding rockets at several places, multiple times a day. It also proposed to use the Rohini series, advanced propellant capabilities to develop the technology and infrastructure for satellite launch vehicle. The vehicle was a 4-phase, all-solid propellant rocket inspired by the American Scout rocket. However, a tracking station had to be established in order to analyze and determine the rocket's trajectory. But the expense of designing and purchasing new tracking systems was high. Due to financial constraints, each of our projects had to be planned on a shoestring budget. However, the clever folks at ISRO found a way around this. Ahmedabad office. After abandoning its rocket launch plans due to a series of failures, the European Launcher Development Organization opted to auction off their new satellite telemetry and tracking stations. Realizing this, Dr. Sarabhai instantly hurried his engineers to buy it, and for a pittance, the country received valuable technical equipment. India partnered with NASA to start a satellite service, despite the fact that it did not have its own satellite at the time. As a result of this, Doordarshan launched a TV show called Krishi Darshan, which telecasted agricultural information which was well received. The show, which was first aired on Republic Day in 1967, is still broadcasting on Doordarshan even today. In the same year, Ahmedabad commissioned the first experimental satellite communication Earth station, which later became a training facility for Indian engineers and international scientists. ISRO was formed. Incospar in 1969 was renamed as ISRO. Sriharikota. However, launching huge rockets necessitated a scheduled location with low population density. The hunt came to an end at Sriharikota, a small island in the eastern part of Andhra Pradesh, around 100 kilometers from Chennai. After discussing with the tribesmen who lived on the island full of eucalyptus trees, the Satellite Launch Center was established at Sriharikota in 1969. The station became operational in 1971 with the launch of the first sounding rocket RH-125. Sarabhai passed away. The journey of the ISRO, which began in Thumba, has now passed the moon and landed even on Mars. India and Pakistan received the same amount of Western assistance in the beginning, but India has come a long way since then. We owe Vikram Sarabhai, a visionary scientist, a debt of gratitude. Vikram Sarabhai has always adored Kerala, visited the state on a regular basis not only to meet with his engineers in Thumba, but also to enjoy the natural beauty of God's own country. In December 1971, while visiting Thumba, Vikram Sarabhai died of an heart attack at his residence. His death at the age of 52 was completely unexpected. His death came as a complete shock. Dr. Sarabhai was the founder of several other organizations other than ISRO that had aided India's development. The Indian Institute of Management in Ahmedabad, the Kalpakkam Fast Breeder Reactor, the Electronics Corporation of India, and the Uranium Corporation of India are some of them. In the world of Indian science and technology, his early death was a huge loss. Though Vikram Sarabhai passed away, the person who followed him as ISRO's head was equally brilliant. It was none other than Satish Dhawan. It was another wise move made by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi right after the Indo-Pak War of December 1971. That was the beginning of a new era for ISRO. To be continued.